And I see our game begins with the age-old debate. Is the acronym for good luck, have fun 2 words or 1 word? Our players disagree. One thing's for certain, whenever your opponent has the opposite view, it's time to throw down. If there's one thing that the internet can agree upon, it's that we can fight over anything. So let the war begin. It's brother against brother. It's Protoss against Protoss. It's a PvP on Deathaura, home of the acceleration zones and rich gas geysers. So in the opening moments of our game, our players are mirrored, and that's to be expected. We'll be keeping our eyes out for any signs of divergence, such as an early scouting probe for MCanning. Nope, he's just patrolling. He's checking for shenanigans from his opponent, but there are none. They say everybody needs a hobby, and if you love fresh vegetables, then yours should be MCanning! I'm always tempted to call this guy MCanning. And anywho, his opponent is the smallest of Christopher Columbus's 3 ships. She's not the Pinta, she's not the Santa Marina, she is Nina! So both our players have gone with double gas and double gates, and they remain in lockstep with identical timings for their cyber cores. Both players opting for high ground builds. The only point of differentiation is that MCanning has sent a probe up to his opponent's base for a scout, but also probably for some of his legendary sprays. It's a bit of a trademark maneuver for this popular streamer. His probe's going to be able to slip right in, which will enable him to confirm the mirror. But it's at this point that our players start to differ just slightly. Nina's queuing minerals for an expansion. MCanning's gone for the extra pylon. No, I'm wrong. Nina drops her money into double stalkers. No units for MCanning. Oh, it's a pylon block. He stops Nina from getting her probe out. I think Nina is looking to do a fast expand. MCanning's trying to frustrate her. She puts down a pylon instead. And then he cancels his pylon block. Nasty. Oh, he starts up another one. And then he heads home. Most Protoss are pretty rude. MCanning is extra rude. You gotta love it. The stalkers are gonna pop out, so that pylon is definitely gonna get canceled. Probably right before it completes, just to maximize the time that Nina gets trapped in her base. She's coming out. She's got her 400 minerals for that Nexus. Despite the shenanigans, she will be the first to expand. MCanning, though, will be the first to get some tech. He's gone for a Stargate. And then he'll add a Nexus after that. At least I think he will. He's queuing up the minerals for it. There it goes. He's also got a single stalker in the works, so he's not completely without units. There is no tech choice for Nina at this point. It seems to be delayed, and I'm really curious as to what she's going for. She's not actually using her double stalkers, other than to kill the buildable plates. MCanning got a sentry out as well, so he's going to send a hallucinated phoenix over to Nina's base to see what's going on. What he sees might influence what he wants to make first out of that Stargate. We've definitely seen MCanning experiment with void rays before. The hallucinated phoenix is going to see that Nina's put a shield battery right in her main, but he's going to go for a chrono boosted oracle anyway. Nina's got a slight lead on workers, and her warp gate technology is going to finish just a smidgen before her opponent. And there is our red Protoss's tech choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council. I always love it when we get to see divergent builds, and that's what we've got coming up so far. It's MCanning's turn to chase out the hallucinated phoenix. And the oracle is done. MCanning's going to make a second one behind it. But he's not going to wait for it. His first one's going to streak out and see what it can get done. Nina has another hallucinated scout, though. She might catch it in the act. She does! Did the player actually spot it? Was she looking at the screen? Oh yeah, there's the reaction. The stalkers are headed on an intercept course. That's bad for MCanning. He could be walking into a trap. Oh, I think he smells it. He looks like he's headed home. Okay, so that's wheels within wheels. An absolutely fabulous exchange where it looks like nothing actually happens. But in actuality, there was just a ton of thinking that went into that sequence. A robo goes down for MCanning. He links up his oracles and makes a stasis ward for defense. I love those things. They look like Jedi holocrons to me, but slightly cooler, of course. Nina's started a blink and she's finished a forge. She's already starting her +1 at this point. It's early days, but it looks like it's going to be Blink Stalkers versus Air. And I can say that because MCanning started a Void Ray just as his robo completes. So it looks like we're going to have a double Oracle dive here, but there are a lot of Stalkers and a shield battery there. MCanning aborts. He settles for tagging some units and gets out of there. And so once again, we've gone 5 minutes without a first blood. But it's not like this game doesn't have any action. It's just been very conservative play. MCanning's going to see that Nina started her third and she's ahead of him on economy. Her worker leads only 2 though, and she's not mining that much more. Oh, a second Stargate for MCanning. This really is going to be some Sky Toss versus Blink Stalkers. He's going to respond to his scout by putting down a third of his own. You can see though, he's going to be behind on that. Nina's going to have the economic lead. Canning's going to have the tech lead. We'll see how their choices play out. Nina started powering. She's adding gates. She's going up to 7. And now she's going to Maynard her extra probes over to her third base. A trio of stalkers are going to act as their escorts. I mean like bodyguards, not like a paid dating service. This isn't that kind of game, people. MCanning is protecting his third base expansion with a stasis ward. Also, his Void Ray, of course. He's just starting up his forge now, but he's actually getting +1 air. Which makes sense, because he's making Void Rays 2 at a time now. Oh, and his double oracles are going to give some thought to trying another strafing run. Perhaps on the new third base. MCanning's Phoenix flies in and just sees a ton of warp gates coming in. It's enough to convince him to turn his oracles around. He doesn't feel like flying into a cloud of Blink Stalkers. Which means we still don't have a first blood. I'm going to start to get the shakes here. Though maybe I can calm down. It looks like this Stalker force might be pushing out here. Yeah, the only resources lost in the entire game so far are the cancelled pylons from the beginning of the game. That's going to change though. That is a lot of Stalkers moving south. Nina looks like she wants to shut down MCanning's third base. It's a well-defended position though, especially with those Void Rays accumulating. At this point, we're even on supply. MCanning with the slightly larger army. Nina with the slightly larger number of workers. He does not have an observer to spot that stasis ward. Is she going to walk right into it? No, she sends a single Blink Stalker and blinks away. That was so cool. That was fantastic, Micro. Forget the battle that's about to happen here. That was just a great dodge. Yeah, the Void Rays are just too much. Though, really the MVP is the battery overcharge that MCanning dropped. You can't kill a Void Ray when it has 1 billion hit points. Nina knows it's going to time out though, so she's adding Stalkers. She's also getting +2 for her Stalkers, by the way. Nina goes in again. There's an Immortal mixed in there too. That is a lot of firepower. And Nina is repelled a second time. She's going to rethink her angle of approach. The Blink Stalkers are going to be way more maneuverable than anything MCanning has. Oh, those Oracles have to be careful. Oh, I see. They wanted to take that army. That's useful. For a second, they looked like they were just flying up to say hello. Both players have just started at fourth base. Nina's going to want to see if she can shut down or delay MCanning's fourth. +2 is just about to finish for her. Oh, she blinked right on top of a stasis ward. The entire army was trapped. I've never seen that. Usually you lose half or 3/4. She lost every unit. In a way, that's almost a good thing. There's no split off units to be picked off. Well, there is the reinforcements, but they hit another stasis ward. And there's a disruptor waiting for the Stalkers to time back in. Oh, he timed that great. He killed a ton of Stalkers. Oh, that was potentially game-changing. Nina is way down on supply. The good news for Nina is she's still ahead on economy. If she can convince MCanning to stay back in his base a little longer, she can recover from it. Because those leftover Stalkers in the stasis ward, they will not be recovering. Alright, so Nina has to dash home to lick her wounds here. The Void Rays are going to pursue, though. MCanning's using the acceleration zones to try to close that gap. There's going to be a clash. That's too much Void Ray, though. Nina knows it. She blinks away. In the meantime, she starts up +3 attack. And she's continuing to commit to those Stalkers. Oh, those sentries are dead. But they are going to trap a Zealot. He's like, how did I get in here? He looks like he's checking himself out in the mirror. Dude, I am one handsome warrior. Hey, if you're going to sacrifice yourself for ire, you at least want to look good doing it. You know what I mean? There's a protective cannon in Nina's third, and it's almost fully saturated. Nina's going to swing to the east with her Blink Stalkers. She's reinforced her numbers. With Warpins, she can restock so quickly. MCanning continues to go Void Ray Disruptor. He is famous for big-time disruptor hits. He's also kind of famous for having a cat named Milo that sits on his keyboard while he plays. I guess as long as the cat's hitting the right control keys at the right time, I guess you wouldn't mind. Is Nina actually thinking about taking a 5th? What was that probe doing? I think I might see the thinking. Can't really beat those Void Rays head on, but she can kind of outrun them and out-expand them. So I guess that strategy doesn't work if MCanning's in the right place to pick off her reinforcements. So there's the 5th and a 6th. It's a double expansion for Nina. I like this. It's a gutsy move. If MCanning plays conservatively, she's gonna get ahead on him. She's already got a worker lead of 11, which is surprising given the pasting that she's taken. MCanning still got the lead in tech though. He's even picking up flux veins and +1 shields. To say nothing of the fact that he's picked up a fleet beacon. He's working on a carrier switch. Blink Stalkers do not have an easy time against carriers. And that is a tough position to attack into. But I'm trying to remember that Nina's not actually looking to win any fights here. She just needs to keep MCanning busy while she double expands on him. You can go mono-y-mono with carriers if you are 6 bases to 4. She just has to get those 6 bases up and running first though. MCanning is so sky toss here. He's adding another Stargate and he's getting +2 air attack. 2 carriers in production. He's got 1 scary army. What he doesn't have though is complete knowledge of what Nina's really trying to pull here. I don't think he suspects that he's down 20 workers. Nina's just continuing the charade. He wants to convince him she's gonna blink right into his base the second he stops defending. Oh, and she started a 7th base. That's the Rich Gas Geyser base on MCanning's side of the map. Oh, if she can get away with that, that would be huge. +3 attack about to complete for Nina. The first carriers are here and they're building interceptors. The complexion of this game is about to change yet again. Oh, she can't swing to hit that 3rd. There's a ton of cannons there. If those stalkers go in there, they could get pinned. I love MCanning's composition. To kill the Void Rays, Nina really needs to blink in, but if she does, the Disruptors will just annihilate her. When you go single unit type, it's so much easier to control it. You can get a lot done, but you're really giving something up on composition. Oh, we got a recall here to defend that 5th base. Nicely done. And then Nina's gonna add some cannons so the Stalkers don't have to come back. That's gonna clue MCanning in that he's down on bases. But what he may not know is just how badly he's doing. Oh, those Stalkers overextended. They're gonna get pinned in there. They gotta blink out. They do. MCanning's maxed out now. He's really happy to be trading like that. He is really beating up Nina on resources lost. The story here, though, is she making up for that deficit with her economy? She's actually got over 100 workers. Over 100. Like, Zerg doesn't even want that many drones. She's almost pulling in 4,000 minerals a minute at this point. MCanning's bringing up his main army to snuff out that top right base. And he's discovered the expansion on his side of the map. He's not going to have any trouble shutting down the top right one. Nina is way out of position. Which might be what she wants. I think she's just going to straight up counter. This might devolve into a bit of a base race. MCanning's got a lot of static defense. That's going to make it tricky. Nina does not have that caliber of defense on her side of the map. What she does have is a lot more basic. If you're gonna base race somebody, it's always good to just have more stuff than the other guy. Oh, that is a probe massacre. MCanning destroys a 2nd Nexus. Nina gets to work on her 1st one. Whenever there's a base race, really it's the workers who suffer. Oh my goodness, their worker stats are dropping. MCanning loses his 3rd and actually gets supply block. His slower speed could be coming into play here. But boy oh boy can Void Ray Carrier kill stuff. I think both players think they're winning the race right now. Neither of them's coming back to defend. I feel like this benefits Nina. If she goes back to defend, I think she just dies. She's about to lose her 3rd. The probes are escaping. It's 4 bases to 3 right now. MCanning is supply blocked again. Nina is fully committed to the race. She's warping in nothing to defense, everything to attack. Both players are about to be reduced to 2 bases, just their mains and natural. Though Nina technically has a 3rd with that Rich Gas Geyser base, but it's cut off. Oh, the worker death count is unreal. MCanning is mixing in the defense here. His disruptors are doing heavy work. But is the damage done? He's down to 26 workers. Nina's fighting her way into the main here. She's going up his ramp. She blinks onto the defending carriers. She's gonna seize control of his main. And she's rebuilding some of her lost expansions. Just look at the mini-map. These are Republican-controlled states. I mean red. Sorry, I gotta get that election out of my head. MCanning knows he's losing the base race. He is coming home to defend. He's got the beefy army to do it. He might be regretting he didn't do it sooner. He did not know just how huge Nina was. She's gonna blink out of there. MCanning has stopped the bleeding. He's down to 18 workers. His economy's in shambles, but he's got an army that cannot be challenged, at least not directly. Oh, Nina's got a dark shrine, and she's recalling her probes to repopulate a new nexus. MCanning's responding to the aborted base race with a mothership. Talk about your tech lead. Nina doesn't even have any observers. With his base secure, MCanning's looking to shut down more of his opponent's expansions. Nina's there to defend, but I still think she's more bark than bite. I don't think she can answer those carriers or the disruptor. Nina cannot hold this. She blinks out of there, and the trophy's gonna be this base. Though really it's the workers. There were 18 workers there. That's half of Nina's total at this point. Oh, Nina's gonna see if she can go counter yet again. Are we gonna be so lucky as to get base race 2.0? Oh, Nina didn't have her workers run and hide fast and far enough. That is a big pickup for MCanning. Can Nina get the counter? She's coming at the natural, but there is a recall. MCanning gets Nina's base and then defends his own. That was terrific. A huge multitasking victory. That might have been a TSN turning point right there. It's 3 bases to 2, but right now there's so few workers actually mining, I'm not sure it matters. Notably though, Nina is rebuilding her workers. MCanning is not attempting it at all. He's just gonna try to play this out with the army he has. Plus a mothership, of course. Nina has sneaked a few Dark Templar onto the map. That's gonna change the complexion of the game yet again. If Nina can just keep that third base alive, but it's already been discovered by MCanning's observer, he's figured out the playbook, I think. Nina has to keep him at home defending. MCanning needs to be killing bases. If you're not gonna be adding to your probe count, you need to be reducing your opponents. Nina's now out-resourcing him about 2 to 1. Oh, and there's a DT quietly trying to whittle away at MCanning's building. Oh, a nice snipe and a blink away. The mothership is here, though. That's not going to work for much longer. Nina's doing what she can to lure MCanning to the left-hand side of the map, because her most important base is in the top right-hand corner. She is down to 26 stalkers. She does have 4 Dark Templar on the map, though. Oh, MCanning would love to get a stand-up fight. Nina does not intend to give him one. Oh, the DTs are being defeated by a photon cannon backed by a battery overcharge. Great multitasking. I hope this base was put up as distraction bait, because it's sure not going to last long otherwise. No cancel. MCanning with the kill. The good news for Nina, though, is there weren't a lot of workers there. Nina's depopulated stalker army is going to try to see if they can counter. She's going to link her forces back up and see if she can get something done before MCanning can get back home. Does he have another recall ready? Because that is a lot of stalkers in his base going unanswered. Well, I guess there's a little bit of an answer there, but nothing that Nina can't handle. Where is the Golden Armada? It's making its way back. Will she stay for the damage or will she get out? She's decided to get out of there. Nina's Sky Toss arrives to find their opponent has withdrawn. There's a real dance going on here where Nina's trying to take advantage of her opponent's inferior speed. MCanning's control over his complex army is just off the charts. But compared to Blink Stalkers, it's still slow. And now it's turning its sights on that all-important top right base. That's what he needs to be doing right now. He needs to snuff that out. Nina's actually rebuilding that left center base. And interestingly, a battle duck. Templar Archives. Oh, I love this. She's preemptively depopulating her probes. That's the real trophy here. There's nothing looking to defend that nexus. The lights turn out on the pyramid and then it goes boom. And hello, look who's back for another shot at the natural. MCanning doesn't have many probes to lose and he's losing more. He's down to 8. Down to 6. His mining is almost non-existent. He's only got 3 probes left and his natural is gone. Oh, the DTs are going after the main. If they get that, MCanning will never rebuild. The DTs kill the shield battery that was using an overcharge to try to keep the structures alive. MCanning only has one probe left. He's got 85 minerals. He can make another, but I think he needs to save 50 to make an emergency assimilator. There it is. He's hidden his last probe in the bottom left-hand corner. He can pop out and try to warp in an emergency assimilator. Woo! Big dodge for Nina at the last second. There is no mining for MCanning. There is no unit production. That is his army. He's either going to win or lose the game with it. He's found Nina's third base once more. He's had to kill this thing like 7 times already. Oh, a trio of stalkers is broken off. They hunt down an observer, and they're going to be able to blink right into the main. They're going after that Nexus again, I think. The DTs are coming back to join them. If he loses this, his economic death is official. Oh, a disruptor has popped out. MCanning's killed Nina's third. He's trying to rush home to save his main. He needs to recall before it blows up. This is for the game. He's here. Less than 100 hit points on that Nexus. He arrives and kills the Dark Templar. Oh, he needed that. He was within a hair's breadth. He cloaked that Nexus just before it died. And those guilty-looking stalkers are getting out of dodge. Oh man, this game has been a thriller. Nina is barely mining. She's only got a single clump of minerals that are natural. If she had facial hair, it would be a soul patch. Okay, that joke only makes sense if you really stop to think about it. Okay, maybe not even then. MCanning realizes he can't just get picked apart like this. He's got to somehow crush that army. Nina's opted for long-distance mining. She's got 11 workers. It may not look like much, but it's 11 times more than MCanning has. And she's going to rebuild that Nexus at the center left again. Nina has an observer in MCanning's main, but it's not like it's going to see any units popping out. I think this game is evolving to the point where we're going to have to start counting the number of structures each side has. We might be looking at an elimination game here. MCanning is taking a position in the middle of the map. I think the idea is once he finally figures out where he has to be, he'll be halfway there. Nina's making it tricky for him. She's constantly on the move. And she's long-distance mining now. Oh, she's trying to slip back into the main. It's time for Nina's building reduction program. All structures must go. There's the blink. There is no health on that Nexus this time. Well, that just made MCanning's big save a minute ago completely anticlimactic. Nina gets a critical pylon and unpowers a whole bunch of stuff, but MCanning doesn't care. He's not using any of his buildings anyways. They're just structures that keep him in the game. Nina warps out, but 4 stalkers don't fit. They're left at home. Without a teleportation ticket, they're gonna have to walk back home. But the disruptors deny them the return trip. It is official though. MCanning is being revealed. Not unlike those DTs, which have just been annihilated. Oh, and in a dramatic new development, Nina is actually making a probe. She can do that. Her opponent cannot. Just 85 minerals left for MCanning, and 1 probe to do something with it. What he can't do is make a new Nexus. He'll just have to take his frustrations out on those stalkers. Oh, he's gonna spend his money on interceptors. He no longer has the 75 minerals he would need to make an assimilator. There will be no more buildings for MCanning. Nina's making observers. They cost a lot of gas, and she's got a ton banked up. She doesn't have a lot of minerals. MCanning has split his forces. His disruptor carriers are going after the stalkers, but the mothership is left. She's going to try to knock out that left-hand side expansion. If MCanning can shut down that expansion, he could get back in this. Nina's learned from the last attack. She's pulling all her probes. They're the most valuable part of this. But it's not like that Nexus isn't critical. Nina warps in a pair of Dark Templar. MCanning buys a couple more interceptors. He's almost down to 0 minerals. He's down to 10. He can buy nothing. He might as well be 0 at this point. MCanning does have a lot of interceptors left though. And they can just ravage those stalkers. The stalker count is down to 14. No new ones are being made. Nina has got to escape. The interceptors are doing way too much damage. MCanning knows he needs to end this as soon as possible. But how do you pin down an opponent who can blink? Meanwhile, it's Mothership versus Nexus. I'm not gonna put my money on the Nexus. The shields on the Nexus are just about gone. They are. The Stalkers are on the wrong side of the map to save that Nexus. And there's DTs hacking away at MCanning's base. Oh, it's a recall! Stalkers coming in to save the Nexus! But it's a mass recall! The mothership does a recall of her own! That was insane! The Stalkers have been driven off. MCanning gets the base! It's dueling recalls! Nina's hoping that leaves MCanning's base open. She's sprinting towards it. There's no Nexus there anymore. There's no way for MCanning to jump back to save it. Oh, but he does have disruptors there. A fantastic micro. The sentries trap the Stalkers where the disruptors can hit them. That was as brilliant as it was clutch. It gives enough time for the carriers to get back. Those Stalkers are doomed. Those two DTs are the sum total of Nina's army right now. And MCanning has an observer, but can he actually hit the DT? They're dodging pretty good. But you can't dodge an interceptor, can you? Nina is about to be left without an army, and it's GG. If you like back and forth games, you can't ask for a better one than that. MCanning is our winner. So much to like in this game. Well, I guess this screen was kind of a given. Okay, there was a lot of super cool stuff in this game, but I gotta go right to that awesome move that happened at the 7-minute mark. Props to Nina. This is a pretty high-level way to counter a stasis ward with a blink stalker. So for the record, Nina does not have an observer. That ward is cloaked, and watch how she handles it. She peels off a single stalker, cozies on up to it, and then blinks away. At first I thought Nina had a hallucinated phoenix that caught the oracle making the stasis ward. She just remembered where it was, but that's not what happened at all. Watch it again from her point of view. She's gonna do this the same way that players spot widow mines. Somehow with everything else going on, she's gonna see a slight distortion in the sand, and that's gonna tip her off. Like, this is crazy. I'm actually looking for it, and I can barely see it. That is a level of acuity and experience that boggles the mind. And at a bare minimum, we gotta certify that as a
micro moment.
If you need to, go back and rewind, because I'm telling you it's there. It's just so hard to see. Though I believe you can crank certain settings on your PC to make it slightly easier to see. But, oh yeah, I guess Nina didn't see this one. Dude, that is a bummer. And you have to appreciate the way MCanning was so ready to capitalize with his disruptor. The disruptor's kill count goes from 0 to 5. And it's not just a free fish in the barrel shot. The disruptor was actually under attack by a reinforcing stalker when he was firing. Pretty darn cool. So, the last thing to talk about in this game was Nina's overall strategy. I know it's a weird thing to talk about the strats of the losing player, but I do seem to do that a lot. And it's particularly important here because the meta right now is really interested in how to counter Void Rays. Nina does not counter Void Rays. Her strategy was to go around them. Superior speed, and of course blink. But it was even more than that. Nina accelerated her expansions, not just for the money, but in anticipation that there was going to be an inevitable base race, which there was. That's some high-level planning. She tries to set up multiple ways to win, or, to use a recent cliche from a certain election week, multiple paths to victory. Unfortunately, when your opponent is as crafty as MCanning, you need more than just a path. You need a Range Rover to drive down it. And at the end of the day, Nina came close, but just didn't have a Range Rover. Exhibit A being this incredible Nexus recall to save the game, and Exhibit B being this incredible double counter recall thing. You don't get to see that every day. Nina recalls stalkers to kill the mothership recalls the carriers. Yeah, this was a great game, so be sure to tell your friends, tip your waiters, subscribe to your channels. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.